Patricia Arquette, Boyhood.
It's our time to have wage equality once and for all and equal rights for women in the United States of America.
Your acceptance speech at the Oscars really was a catalyst for a very important conversation. Why do you think, though, that the conversation around women's economic empowerment has remained that? Why haven't we seen more action?
That's a really great question. We have had incredible activists working on this for decades and actually for generations. I don't know if it's a subconscious thing where people just think mama's okay, mama can figure it out. Yeah, that sucks, but you know, we have to deal with this other thing. Those are all legitimate things, but the whole American family has changed so drastically. If we look at the reality of living in America right now, almost 40% of our families are headed by females. And then we have two people working in families now, whether that's a woman and a woman, or a man and a woman, or a man and a man. We have two people bringing their salaries to the table to take care of all their expenses. And all those families are also affected by this gender gap. We have 42 million women, and there are 24 million children dipping in and out of poverty all the time. And I think if women had equal pay in the United States, it would drastically change the landscape. It would empower communities. Women would be able to afford to send their kids to college to start their own businesses. I think this would be a very major game changer.
Now that you've generated this momentum with the public attention that you've received since the Academy Awards, what are some steps that you want to be taking to move this conversation around equal pay forward?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think this can be a conversation much longer. It's nice we restarted the conversation, although people have been having this conversation and working their butts off on this conversation for so long. We have a very short window to have a conversation, but we need actions, and tonight one of the calls to action, I'm going to ask women and the men who love women and all the supporters of women in this, because they understand that it's just fair, is to contact once a month, maybe on your birthday, your kid's birthday, your mom's birthday, whatever day is important to you. Contact the GOP and the DNC and your local representatives, and you say, what are you doing for equal pay? Because I'm watching what you're doing, and I will vote according to what you are or are not doing, because I want to see change and I want to see it now. If we continue with the pace that we've been at since 1960 historically to now to close the wage gap, we won't close it till 2058 in the United States of America. That's a whole nother generation of wage earners, of women aging out of the system who never saw their $1 for their $1 work, their $1 worth of pay go into their Social Security, go into their retirement plans. We're going to doom our daughters to a whole nother generation of this if we don't actually pick up the phone and start twittering and start bugging them.
You work in such powerful industries, in filmmaking, where the narratives and the storytelling behind this issue can help move the needle. But it's also an industry where there are so few women, where the wage gap remains in a meaningful way. How do you think the entertainment industry can do a better job of helping to move this from a conversation into real action and raise awareness and raise sense of urgency around women's economic empowerment?
Each different area of the industry is its own thing, and I certainly can't control it. I can't dominate it. I can't tell them what to do about it. I do know that they really look at graphs and they look at what makes money. So if women support female filmmakers, if women, support it by going to the movies, even if it's not a movie you want to see. Go see that movie, go support actresses you like, go see them starring in some little independent movie. Really, it ends with the buck. They just want to see what movies and who's in them are making the most money, and those will be the movies they support.
You know what I'm realizing? My life is just gonna go like that. This series of milestones. Getting married, having kids, getting divorced. The time that we thought you were dyslexic, when I taught you how to ride a bike. Getting divorced again, getting my master's degree, finally getting the job I wanted. Sending Samantha off to college, sending you off to college. You know what's next? Huh? It's my funeral.
I won this Academy Award playing this single mom who worked her butt off to raise her kids. That's the thing no one thought people would really be all that interested in. That's the one we pass on the street every day, that we see in our family, that we don't pay attention to. And recently, I think it's been a little bit of a shock to Hollywood of what narrative people are responding to. And I think they will discover, and I think they're discovering, that there's a narrative they've been ignoring that strikes a real chord with a lot of people in the United States.